Yo, what's up, internet? This is Sins Media here, and just in case you hadn't figured it out yet, I am an idiot. So, less than 24 hours ago, I put up this video here, ByteBeat bugs blow up FL Studio, and it's not a terrible video. It's about some issues that I've had implementing the ByteBeats in Edison in FL Studio, including the fact that some of them just blow up and kill the FL Studio itself. You know, they just crash it straight away. And I kind of lightly dissed ImageLine as well. Sorry, guys. So then I went and posted this to the ImageLine forums, and quite rightly, a guy called Binary Born came back to me and said, I sense division by zero, which is like the number one most obvious reason that you might get an exception at runtime. Yeah, you're trying to do division by zero. And the truth is that I considered this when I was trying to figure out what was going wrong with these ByteBeats. I considered there was a division by zero there, and I looked at the ByteBeats and I was like, there's no division. I don't know. I looked at this remainder function. Like, you see the remainder function here, the modulo, which is a kind of division, right? And for some reason, I had an assumption in my head that this didn't behave the way an ordinary division happened, and like modulo zero would just give you zero or something instead of an actual divide by zero error. So I was, I'm just completely stupid. I really considered this and somehow just assumed it wasn't true. And you know what they say about assumption, right? So yeah, here's what I did. I went into the generator. Here's the original Arabic ByteBeat sort of melody, if you remember from this. This is what was blowing up FL Studio when we put it in. So I just went and I took this expression here, and of course it's a bit of a complicated expression, so just so that you understand this, if we just look up JavaScript operator precedence here. So you need to know this stuff in languages like JavaScript or any language. You've got these various operators and they have a precedence. In other words, when it looks at an expression like this, it has to do one operator and then the next one and then the next one. And there's a certain number of rules for which ones take precedence, which ones happen first. So this page here, I got it from developermozilla.org, but I just Googled for it. This gives you the operator precedence. So I said, okay, how can I rewrite this expression here in such a way that there's no risk of a division by zero? So assuming again, and I shouldn't. So taking that this modulo operator is the actual division operator that's being run that can fail when what it's dividing is zero. What's the thing it's dividing? Well, it turns out, looking at this list of operator precedences, that the percent sign, the remainder function, precedence 15, that takes precedence over the bitwise left and right shift, and it takes precedence over the bitwise OR there, which is only down at 8. So looking at this expression again, we can see that this T modulo by that block happens before then this whole sub-expression is, we apply either this shift or this OR to it. So here's what I did. I pulled out this bit of the expression here, I'm highlighting there, onto this line, and I assigned it to variable a. I then did a test here. If a doesn't equal, make sure that a does not equal 0, then I apply the whole expression as a function of a to the value s. If it is 0, I don't know what to do, but I'm just going to assign s to 0. Right? I mean, I'm just going to, the value output is going to be a 0. It's the most null value I can think of. And then I return that s. So this has put the ByteBeat expression that we got into a form where it never tries to do this modulo with a 0 in the denominator, the number you're dividing by. And if we now run that, and we go here, and we'll give ourselves a few seconds of that. Here we go. And it works. So I was an idiot. I should have thought. I should have noticed that possibility. I should have noticed that the modulo function was just another kind of division, and so there was always a risk of a division by 0, which, I mean, if you don't know, you try and divide something by 0 and that's undefined, and programming languages tend to hate you trying to divide by 0. They do blow up, and it's still a shame that Edison blows up the whole of FL Studio, but you can't diss ImageLine for the fact that it can't handle a division by 0. So that's it. So that's the story. The lessons learned, apart from the fact that I have to stop just assuming I know things that I don't know, it's a bit mysterious to me. It is a bit mysterious to me why this is okay in these JavaScript online versions. And I've just got to assume that what's going on there is that they have either some of these numbers are just not becoming 0 for some reason in the JavaScript version, or they're actually wrapping some kind of try-catch exception handler around it. I don't know. You know, the expression works fine, yeah. But exactly. So if you know a little bit more about the sort of programming basics, so you understand what I've been saying here, you can take even these problematic ByteBeat expressions and format them in such a way that you ignore all because there's only a few sample points, I'm sure, which are actually zeros. If you zoom in here, there are these kind of things. This bit here looks as though it's just being set to 0 when it might have been something else, but I don't know. That's still unknown to me. However, so yeah, don't always trust my intuitions of things. I mean, I need to learn that, and you guys probably need to learn that. And yeah, and I'll see you in the next one. Sorry for not spotting this sooner and putting out a video telling you how bad it was when it wasn't quite as bad. I mean, it's still problematic. You still have to be careful that some of these ByteBeats will cause trouble. You still have to test them before you save your stuff before you use them. You still have to kind of learn to transform them in the right way. But all is not lost. Some of these ones can be fixed if you notice that and you realise. But I kind of should have noticed that earlier. So that's it. That's what I got for this video. Big mea culpa, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching.